you're a beginner trader or a trader who is tired of the inconsistencies of all this strategy, this is the only strategy you will need. Here's an entry I took. Here's the result. This is another trade setup I took. This is the result. Here's another trade setup I took. Here's the result. Here's another trade set. Oh, yes. This was the entry. This was the exit. This was the entry. We got stopped out. This was the entry. This was the result. This was the entry. This was the result. And this strategy is called the failed breakout strategy. This PDF will be available. Link will be in the description. I also have a free mentorship program. Go check it out, teaching the same strategy. Let's jump into the video. So what is the failed breakout strategy, and why is it the best strategy that you'll ever learn? We will tackle all that in this video. Now, the basics are simple. I am only identifying the high and the low of the week, then identifying my failed breakout, and then identifying my trading day. Simple, nothing else. This is just a simple illustration to show you how to draw the high and the low of the week. So on this day, this is Monday. Monday, this line represents the beginning of the day. This line represents the end of the day. Now, the highest point price reached that day and the lowest point, that is the high of the week and the low of the week, if it's on Monday. This is the first step. Now, a failed breakout will only be a failed breakout if price breaks out, not pins the high, breaks out of the high of the week, and then closes back inside of the day. So let's look at what a failed breakout is not first. So this is Monday, setting the high and the low of the week. On Tuesday, look at what happens. Price pins the high 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So once we see pins at the high, what we do is we extend our high of the week to that level until we see a breakout. Now, granted, the high of the week still remains at Monday, but we need to break the high of the week. If it's just a pin, extend that pin and wait for a breakout. So how does a real breakout, failed breakout look like? So look at Monday, look at Tuesday, we extended those pins. And then on Wednesday, you can see that we also pin the high. And again, this candle here pins the high. That is now the high of the week. And then that candle broke out. That is the breakout of the high of the week. And then price comes back down and closes back inside of the high and the low of the week. This is now a failed breakout. And this is the signal day. Notice, we've not traded on Monday, on Tuesday, or Wednesday. We were just sitting and observing the market, because the point is to trade when it's convenient, when the odds are stacked towards your favor. Now, and then, so this is the failed breakout we had previously, and then now we have the sell setup the next day. So what exactly does a failed breakout mean? So if we have a failed breakout at the high of week, that means we are going to have a sell day the next day. Simple. And then if we have a failed breakout at low of week, that means we have a buy day the next day. Nothing else. So these are the things that I look for. Let's look at the trading day. On the trading day, we don't just come to the screen and trade anytime. We have a very specific trading window where we look for setups. And in Asia, the time is 8 to 11 p.m. New York time. London is 2 to 5 a.m. New York time, and New York is 8 to 11 a.m. New York time. So on this trading day, this is the step-by-step process, and we shall follow this process step by step using a real live trade that we took. US 30 gave us a setup, a very beautiful setup last week on Thursday. So let's use that. Now you can see that Monday set the high and the low of the week, and then Tuesday breaks out and closes outside of the range. So we extend our high to that level. So this is Monday, this is Tuesday. Tuesday sets the high, and then look at Wednesday. We have already a breakout at the beginning of the day, and then we have this breakout here. Price comes back and closes back inside of the range. So we have a failed breakout. Now, once you have a failed breakout, that means sell the next day. Now, when I say sell the next day, we are selling at the high of the day. So we are looking for a very specific setup at the high of the day. And you can see we had this massive buy, but we also got our sell setup. So let's follow the steps outlined on the trading day. Step number 1, draw a vertical line separating your timing window. This trade, we took it in the New York session. So our New York session begins at 8 to 11. Alright, so we have our timing window in place. Step number 2 is identify the high and the low of the day. So the high and the low of the day, this is the highest point price has reached that day. So this pin here. And then this is the lowest point price has reached that day at the open of the day. Now we have the high and the low of the day in place. Step number 3 is let the first hour form the high and the low of the session. So the first hour is from 8 to 9. So we can just draw another vertical line at 9 and then ask ourselves, what did the first hour do? The first hour pinned the low. So we adjust our new low to that level. So now we have a new low of the day, but the high of the day has not been violated. Now, we have adjusted the high of the low accordingly, depending on what the first hour did. Step number 5 is wait for breakout at the high or the low, depending whether you are buying or selling. For us, we are selling today. So we wait for a breakout at the high of the day. So remember what we talked about pins. A pin, whether it's on a daily candle or a 15-minute candle, a pin will always be an extension of the high. And this is just my theory based off of my experience looking at the markets. When we have a pin like that, there's always price will always try to come back to that level. So if I see a pin, not a breakout, if I see a pin, then I know even if price has started to go lower, we will come back to that pin and clear liquidity at that level. And that is what we are waiting for, a breakout. A breakout to me is what tells me that we have cleared liquidity. So we extend the high because of the pins, and then look at 10:15. We have our breakout. Once we have our breakout, we want to see a specific type of breakout. This is called a failed breakout. When price breaks out explosively in one candle and then the next candle tries to go back in. So if it's at the high, we have a bullish candle and the next candle is bearish. If we are at the low, we have a bearish candle and then a bullish candle next right to it. So that would be our entry or our trigger for the entry. Stops a few pips above the high of the day, and we would be targeting the low of the day. Simple, a nice trade setup, and that is what, if you look at all these trade setups, they have in common. So we have the breakout and then we have the entry. We have the breakout, we have the entry. Look at the entry, and then that is the result. In fact, this trade was a beautiful trade setup. Look at this. We have a breakout. We have the next candle is our entry. We have the breakout. The next candle is our entry. And this is the trade setup we've broken down. So basically, if you understand the high of the week, a failed breakout, and a trading day, then you have understood this setup. Now this PDF will be linked in the description so that you can download it and go through the setup yourself. If you got value from today's video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.